and I wanted to fracture a man from the day he was born until the day he died, here's exactly how I do it. I'd make sure he's born into a system that fears his power before he even knows he has it. And from the moment he takes his first breath, I'd begin the quiet war. Not with violence, with shame. Not with chains, with conditioning. I'd program his parents before he arrives. Make sure his father is numb, unavailable, or absent. Make sure his mother is overwhelmed, unsupported, and carrying wounds from her own father. Now he enters a home where love is unstable, safety is conditional, and emotions are never fully seen. That's his blueprint. Then I'd weaponize school. I'd sit him in a chair for 6 hours a day and punish him for needing to move, explore, or question. I'd make sure his wildness is labeled disorder. I'd drug his spirit before it grows teeth. And I'd make sure no one ever tells him you're not broken, you're just awake. I'd confuse his masculinity early. Tell him real men are aggressive, competitive, emotionally shut off. Tell him kindness is weakness. Tell him silence is strength. Then I'd mock him when he becomes emotionally unavailable and call him toxic when he cracks. Now he's confused, ashamed, and disconnected from his core. I'd fracture his sexuality before he even knows what it is. Introduce porn before connection, pleasure before intimacy, control before vulnerability. Now he learns to chase validation through conquest, not love. He'll have sex without ever being touched. I'd tell him his worth is tied to performance. Grades, muscles, money, status, every achievement praised, every emotion ignored. Now he's addicted to results, terrified of failure, and ashamed of softness. But no one sees it because he looks successful. I'd isolate him. Make sure he's surrounded by people but never truly known. Teach him to joke through pain, distract through humor, and lie with confidence. He'll be the strongest in the room and still feel like a fraud. I'd keep him in silent competition with every other man. Convince him that brotherhood is weakness, that vulnerability will get him betrayed, that trusting another man will make him prey. Now he stands alone, strong, admired, and completely disconnected. I'd wound his heart and make him hide it. Let his first love break him wide open. Then tell him to man up. Never speak of it again. Now, every woman he loves after that is filtered through a wound he was never allowed to name. I'd keep him chasing something he could never reach. The perfect body, the perfect career, the perfect partner, the perfect moment where he finally feels enough, but it never arrives. Because the void wasn't created by lack of achievement, it was created by lack of remembrance. And I'd make sure he dies respected, admired, and unknown. The good man, the provider, the one who never asked for help. He'll leave behind a legacy of strength, but take his truth to the grave. That's how I'd fracture a man. Not with trauma, with slow erosion, with silence, with lies dressed as love, until he forgets what it ever felt like to be whole.
Wow. Now what about a woman?
If I were the devil and I wanted to fracture a woman from the moment she was born until the moment she died, this is exactly how I'd do it. First, I'd make her doubt her own body. From the very beginning. I'd tell her she's too much or not enough, too loud, too quiet, too big, too small. I'd disconnect her from the rhythm of her womb before she ever bleeds. Make her ashamed of her cycle. Teach her that pain is normal, that intuition is drama, that sensitivity is weakness. I'd divide her from her mother, not always through conflict, sometimes through silence. I'd make sure her mother carries unspoken trauma, passed through tone and tension, not words. So the daughter grows up decoding emotions instead of expressing them. Now she learns love means scanning, fixing, pleasing. I'd glamorize beauty and weaponize comparison. Flood her with images of perfection she'll never reach, because I'll keep changing the standard. I'd make her chase external validation while starving her internal knowing. Now she's too busy hating her reflection to notice she was born as art. I'd fracture her friendships early, whisper insecurity into the space between girls. Make them compete for attention, affection, approval. Make trust feel dangerous and betrayal feel inevitable. Now she grows into a woman who smiles at other women while bracing for impact. I'd confuse her sexuality before she understands consent. Let her experience attention before safety. Let her feel desired before she feels seen. Make her believe her worth lies in her desirability, but shame her for expressing it. Now she's trapped in a loop. Repress it, express it, regret it, repeat. I'd make her serve to feel loved, make her a helper, healer, mother to everyone but herself. Teach her that saying no is selfish, that rest is lazy, that boundaries are rejection. So she gives until she burns out and no one notices. I'd sell her freedom wrapped in mimic feminism. Tell her power means becoming like a man. Hustle, harden, achieve. Suppress the very thing that makes her magic. Her softness, her flow, her intuition, her cyclical wisdom. Convince her to cut off her roots in the name of rising. I'd let her taste love, then take it away. Over and over. So she starts to believe the problem is her. Now she shapeshifts, self-abandons, pleases, performs, just to be chosen. But even when she's chosen, she won't feel safe, because she never got to be known. I'd silence her rage, tell her to be nice, be agreeable, be quiet, so that by the time she realizes what's been done to her, she can't even scream. I'd fill her womb with emotion she was never allowed to express. Generations of grief, guilt, shame. She'll feel the weight, but not the source. She'll think she's broken, when in truth, she's carrying an entire bloodline's unspoken pain. And when she finally starts to wake up, when she begins to remember her power, I'd surround her with spiritual fluff. Soft words, safe rituals, surface healing. Let her feel like she's evolving without ever reclaiming her fire. Because if she truly remembered, if she bled without shame, loved without losing herself, and roared without apology, she'd tear the entire system down just by existing. And that's what I'd fear the most.
Alright, shalom, shalom. This is the brother Tazamal coming to you with another lesson through the Spirit. And first and foremost, I want to give all praise and all honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kakadash. Next, I want to give double honors into the apostles of Great Millstone, who've given me the 100% truth according to the Bible and Ruel. I came across this video on the media, and this lady asking if ChatGPT, if like with the devil, how would you fracture a man and a woman? And a lot of the points that the chat GPT brought out, it pretty much exposed who's the true devil on this side, man. Many of his key points, man. Some of them it was just you just rambling on. Of course, you know it's gonna do those things, but just getting to the point of it's exposing who this damn devil is, man. In the works that he's been doing upon the Israelites, you know, the majority of the world, honestly, but especially to the Negroes, Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans, man. These are the crafty counsel and the hurtful works. You know, as the scripture said, earth was given to the hands of the wicked. He covered the judges of the faces thereof, man. You know, and it says the Salakia, the scripture says his hurtful works will fulfill. Roughly paraphrasing, I don't know, grab that scripture, but we're just gonna bring this out right quick. This is Psalms 83 and 3. It says, well, I'm gonna actually start at verse 2. It says, "For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head." Yeah, man. It's because it's not only these other nations follow after this damn devil too, man. The leaders of these other nations follow after the wickedness of Esau and pretty much oppressing our people, you know, oppressing the man, woman, and child of a Israelite, the true children of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah, the one who they ignorantly call Jesus, God and Jesus, Salakia. It says, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against the hidden ones," man. This is exactly the crafty counsel that they have taken against our people, man. Majority of the things that was spoken from this chat GPT, you know, is what's been given to our people, man. You know, overall exposing who the true devil is, man. Because her question was, if you were the devil, man, and we know who the devil is according to the Bible, and just living in this daily life that we walk, living in this world that we live. Overall, it's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah putting on these to be the whooping stick. But hey, this goes to show who the devil is, man. Who's our enemy? You might have to go back and listen to a majority of the things you said, because he was rambling on for quite a while. But it's very key details on who's been going through these things, man, here on this side. You know? It says they have said, come and let them, and come And let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, man. You know, because if we remember who we are, we understand these things, man. Like other brothers who listen to this understand, man. And man, this devil ain't gonna stop because this is his job. We ought to come back into our power, man. We come back into our understanding, man, and prepare for what's the worst to come. And hey, overall, get ready for to receive our recompense, man, for all this trouble that this devil has given us on this side, man. And salvation is coming for at hand for us, man. This is just a short lesson through the spirit. I just wanted to push this out there. Lord willing, the elect's edified. There's many more scriptures that could have been brought out, but it's kind of late, and you know, Lord willing, I get a part 2. But hey, this something deep, man. You know, take another listen. Shalom.